الشريعة التامة. اللهم صل وبارك على عبدك رسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحابته السابقين إلى كل عمل مبرور وسعي مشكور. أما بعد، كنت خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Allah describes the Muslim moon as being the greatest of nations as ever come out to mankind. And Allah gave us three of the attributes, three of the ways in which we, the Muslim moon, have become the greatest of people to have ever come out to mankind. The first of those ways is that we order the good. We order the ma'roof, that which is good, that which is ordered from Allah in terms of the wajibat, and also the sunan, the things that completes one's deen and elevates one's religion. وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and we forbade from the evil, including starting with the things that Allah has forbidden and told us to stay away from, and also those things, the makruhat, the things that bring deficiency to one's character. وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ, and on top of all of that, we do so with the belief in Allah. It's not sufficient that we just have actions. We must follow those actions with good iman and with belief in Allah and with good intention, good qasd. So we can summarize here that there is an identity, there is something about the Muslimun that makes us better. And as we mentioned in last khutbah, we, human beings, are exactly that, human beings. There is nothing genetically different between each and every one of us. We are all children of Adam. There isn't one type of human that is better than another type of human. We are all equal in our physical makeup. However, what makes us elevate oneself or lower ourselves is what we do with this physical being of ourselves called our bodies. So this is how we should measure ourselves and our self-worth. It is not measured by any kind of criterion of where you were born, how you were born, and when you were born. Rather, it is measured by what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And what is at the core of all that we do is our identity. So our identity shapes what we do. Our identity shapes how we do it. And most importantly, our identity has a large role to play in why we do what we do. So I want to focus on, very briefly, in this very short khutbah, 6 elements of our identity. We need to focus, take a look at ourselves, analyze ourselves, and try our best to elevate ourselves to levels that we need to get to and higher. The first and primary thing here is our sense of responsibility. Ya ikhwan, I don't need to tell you this, we all know it, we all see it, we all hear it. I personally believe, I believe it's a sickness. I believe it's a sickness of the heart to externalize one's problems, to externalize one's actions, and to say that this happened because of this person, not me, because of this person. I punched him because he was rude to me. I spat in his face because he slandered me. I did this because he spoke about my family. This happened, my actions, my evil actions happened because of him. This is a sickness, ya ikhwan. This is a sickness. Wallah is a sickness. And it's a sickness that prevents you from benefiting and bettering yourself. As long as you actually, truly believe in your heart that your evil deeds are not your fault, that on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will say to you, you did these evil deeds, and He will list them, and He will say, don't worry, it will be someone else's problem. Although you did the action, although you made the decision and made the choice, someone else will bear the blame for it. As long as you believe that, you're almost half destroyed. You're almost half destroyed. How can you fix that? Listen carefully, ikhwan. How can a person psychologically fix a problem he doesn't acknowledge he has? Allah says in the Quran, وَأَلَّا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. No person shall bear the brunt or bear the blame of another person. No one will gain on their shoulders the wizard of their fathers, their uncles, their tribe, their nation, whatever. You will be answered for your own actions. So primarily, as your first task to do, the first thing you need to remember is that you need to take responsibility for what your hands have earned. Stop externalizing things. And a famous economist, Thomas Sowell, mentioned that although profits are very beneficial to know about in business, losses are even as more beneficial because it tells you what you need to stop doing. Losing business, losing income is a message to you. Stop doing that. Do something else. Now apply that economic principle to yourselves. If you're committing sin and you're falling into sin, recognize what are you doing that's causing that and start changing that. Make a change to yourself. Recognize you fell into that, it happened. Now make it as a lesson. And some people on the other side, some people they get too caught up in the sins. They say, oh, I have so many sins already, what's the point? I say turn it the other way around. You have so many sins already, therefore you have a lot of reasons not to do it again. Every time you do a sin, you have another reason not to keep on doing it again. You're only racking up the punishment. So you have you're increasing yourself in motivation not to fall into that again. So I tell you, Ikhwan, the first issue of refining your identity is taking responsibility for yourself. The second issue is one's aqeedah. And when we hear this word aqeedah, sometimes people get frightened. If they fear that this is the issue of contention and argument. No. The reason why I mention aqeedah is because one's personal belief, one's beliefs that they hold in their heart, manifests itself in the limbs. Ikhwan, listen carefully. Your actions are the result of your belief. If you believe that so-and-so is a kafir and therefore I can oppress him, that's going to come out on your limbs. If you believe some nonsense that it's okay to kill people because they're kuffar, that will come out on your limbs because of corrupt belief. Corruption in the heart will manifest itself in the limbs. So if you want to correct your limbs and make sure your actions are correct, the first thing you need to do is correct your action, your belief. You need to correct what is inside yourself and acknowledge what needs to be accepted as al-Islam. And on that very brief lesson there, because there's a lot could be said about this one topic, I just give you one criterion I give to everyone I meet, especially new Muslims. If you believe in your heart something about Islam that never existed at the time of the companions, radiyallahu anhum, throw it away. Listen carefully. If you have a belief and you think this belief is from al-Islam, but the companions never knew of this, Prophet Muhammad never spoke of this, it was not something they ever believed themselves, put it aside. Leave it aside. And I'll give you one small example of one of the scholars of the past. He wants to have a debate with one person who was a Shia. He said, I'll meet you in this place and we'll debate. And when the Shia came, the scholar picked up his shoes, put it in his his armpit, and shook his hand. And the Shia said to him, why did you do that? Why did you put your shoes underneath your armpit? And he said, because whenever the Shia at the time, Messenger of Allah, met him, they always picked their shoes up and put it underneath their armpit and shook his hand. So the Shia said to him, but there was no Shia at the time, Messenger of Allah. And he said to him, why are we debating then? Listen carefully, Ikhwan. It is very simple. If you want to believe what the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam believed, then make sure that what you believe is what he said to believe. And I'll keep it at that. The second issue is one's ibadah, one's worship. You need to make sure that your ibadah is in line with al-Islam. Do not be fooled that you can be born and raised, or maybe born abroad and come here and you can live in this environment of the UK and not be affected by the things you see around you. We are human beings, we are social, we love to conform. We love to conform. And specifically as it relates to acts of worship, don't be surprised that some of us may feel inclined to agree with certain aspects of worship of the disbelievers. And I guarantee you, if you look at all the aspects of bid'ah, innovation that has crept inside the ummah of Islam, you'll find at some point, somewhere, it came from outside of Islam. I have a whole book on that, on the history of bid'ah and as it relates to other religions. So we need to make sure, the same principle I said a minute ago, whatever you do in al-Islam, Whatever act of worship you engage in, ask yourself, did the companions do the same thing? If they did it, we do so. If they didn't, we don't do so. And I'm referring to acts of worship, ya ikhwan. I'm referring to acts of everyday life, to my acts of worship, our salah, our fasting, our hajj, wherever it is. Make sure you do not do something until it is confirmed that the Messenger of Allah did so. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من آيات وذكر الحكيم أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه كان غفارا. الحمد لله الرحمن الرحيم العزيز الحكيم له الأسماء الحسنى والصفات العلى اللهم صل وبارك على عبدك رسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Sorry for the rush, time is of the essence. Another aspect of our character we need to refine as Muslims is our conduct. And this refers to, you can also say, the mahasin akhlaq, the things that the good characteristic of a Muslim makes us elevate ourselves. I'm not necessarily referring to the wajibat, although there are many things of our conduct which is wajib, but I'm specifically referring to the mahasin. So for example, what happens when someone passes away? How do we do ta'ziyah? How do we console the family of the deceased? How do we visit the sick? How do we give salam to one another when we see someone across the street? These elements of our character we need to reform and indulge ourselves as much as we possibly can. Do not feel ashamed of being Muslim, ya ikhwan. I would say in this one point here, focus on that little nuqta there, that little point there. Do not be ashamed of being Muslim. Do not feel ashamed of getting your salah, your prayer mat out and praying where you are at your workplace. Just find a space and do salah. In your conduct, in your behavior, do not feel ashamed, ya ikhwan. We make sure we need to refine our actions, and I specifically make a nuqta here as those who work, especially in the city, how we behave and interact with the opposite gender. We need to refine ourselves and act as Muslims act, with respect to the opposite gender. Do not degrade women, and women do not degrade men. We need to give them the respect they due and keep our respectful distance with the opposite gender. And if we feel the need to get married to anyone, we do so in the correct manner in accordance to Al-Islam. As Allah said, لا طاعة لمخلوق لمعصية الخالق. There's not obedience to the creation in disobedience to the Creator. Also, second before last issue is our appearance. Now, I'm not saying that every single one of us must and has to wear a thawb and a kufi and everything. But we must have something that identifies us as a Muslim. Listen carefully, ikhwan. We must have something. If I see you in the street, I know to say Assalamu alaikum. I have to wonder to myself, wait, is he Muslim or not Muslim? We need to know this. Because when we do good deeds, that is our da'wah. When we help someone across the road, or we stop a thief across the road, when we actually do a good deed, and everyone sees us doing a good deed, they'll say, oh look, this Muslim guy did a good deed. That is our da'wah. We don't have to give da'wah with our tongues, we can do our da'wah with our limbs. And I'll conclude this, man tashabbah biqawmin minhum. Whoever tries to resemble a people, then from them. Remember this. This is referring to the issue of intention, so make sure that you bring your attention in line. And finally, I'll try to bring this to a close quickly, how we deal with money. No doubt, we can behave our best to people. But when money is involved, our reality comes out. We all know this. I know this guy from years, mashallah, he's a good brother. The moment you open the wallet, things change. And our interactions differ. And this is where we need to refine ourselves the most. Primarily in terms of rizq al-halal, gaining the rizq, gaining the provision from the halal. And secondly, listen carefully everyone, getting that rizq. I tell you, it is a disease that is afflicting the ummah, where we are now dependent on handouts and not getting our own rizq. Look at the story of the companion who came and migrated. He left everything in Mecca, had nothing. And Muhajir came, Ansari said, look, I'll give you half what I have, look, have half. You have nothing, have half what I have. And he said to him, no, just show me the market is. I don't need your handout. I have my own hands. I can work myself. I have izzah. I have my own self-pride. I can do it myself. Just show me where the market is and I'll make my rizq. This is how Muslims need to be. And this is why you find, if you look at the Islamic model for governance in government and society, you find that the help of the people, the orphans and what, doesn't come from government, it comes from us. When someone needs help, we get our policy and we fund it. Look at Uthman radiallahu anhu funded the whole battle of Tabuk with his own wallet, brought his gold and left it in the lap of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Messenger of Allah could easily have said, okay, there's a tax, all of your income taking this much, we're going to fund this battle, but no, he left it to tabarru'at. If you want to give, you can give and you can get higher reward, and they gave. So this is how we need to change our mindset, that we need to start. We need to start earning our own rizq and making effort to do so. Work hard to earn our rizq. Don't think that earning money is bad for you or evil. It is not. You can use it for evil, but it is not evil. Money can be used to get you to paradise. And I would like to just conclude that one point with the hadith. ذهب أهل الدثور بالأجور. The people who are rich have run away with their reward. Some of the Sahaba went to the message of the poor ones. يصومون كما نصلي. They pray like we pray. ويصومون كما نصوم. And they fast like we fast. ويتصدقون بفضول أموالهم. And they give sadaqah with the change that they have. I don't have change, but they have little bits of change and they give sadaqah and they get more reward than all of us. What can we do, Ya Rasulullah, to catch up? And they gave them a dua that they can say, they can get more reward. And then they came back again and said, Ya Rasulullah, those rich people, they heard about this dua that we say, and now they're doing it as well. Give us something else so we can catch up. And he concluded by saying, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. That is the virtue of Allah, He gives it to whom He wills. The point here, Ya Ikhwan, is that the Sahaba recognized that those people reach higher status in paradise because the money they had, the opportunity they had. It wasn't the fact they just had money, it was the fact they had opportunity and they used it. So when I say to you earn money, I'm not saying just earn money because money is great. I'm saying earn money because it opens up more opportunity. So Ikhwan, I'd like to conclude here to say that we need to refine our character, make ourselves the best we possibly can in this dunya, especially as people are looking at us Muslims saying, how are these people behaving and what is this Islam? We can make sure that we are the best we possibly can be. Ibadallah. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما وقد قال صلى الله عليه وسلم من صلى عليه صلاة واحدة صلى الله عليه بها عشرة وصلوا وسلموا على سيد الأولين والآخرين وأمام المرسلين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ارض عن الصحابة أجمعين وعن الخلفاء الراشدين أبي بكر الأئمة المهديين أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم ارض عنا بمنك معهم بمنك وكرمك ورحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الكفر والكافرين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا قوي يا متين اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم أعذنا من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله العظيم الجليل يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون أقم الصلاة